Hello and good evening for this Thursday, August 24th, 2023. We just finished watching episode 10 of Big Brother 25, the week 3 eviction episode. But we're just getting started here on Super Mader Brothers podcasting, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch. Or you might be listening to us on the audio version. I'm Dave Mader, joined with my brother Jeff Mader, here to break down this episode and this eviction as Heisem leaves the game here, week 3, and the return of the pressure cooker HOH competition. Kesar makes an appearance here in the scary verse in this episode, and we look ahead into this game, moving into week 4, I guess. So, how you doing tonight, Jeff?
Good. One down in the draft.
Yeah, Team Jeff has been reduced, but don't worry, you still have Matt in the draft.
Yes.
Who had some 3 strikes and you're out, Heisem, in the exit interview or the goodbye messages for Heisem in this episode as well. So a little shade, but not as cruel, Jeff, as the one from Blue. I thought it was a little maybe over the top. I had to pull it. Let's check that out just quickly here.
Hi, Sam. I appreciate that you played an honest game, so let me honestly tell you that I am excited to get your lying ass out of this house. I'll see you, hopefully not too soon.
See what I mean? Why you don't want to listen to these?
He had a point.
He had a point. The episode really tried to sell us, Jeff, that there was a chance Heisem might be able to get the votes here. And Izzy and Sari and Felicia, who put him on the block in the first place, it seemed like we're seriously considering flipping this vote, which I thought, no, there's no way. There's no way. I don't care how sincere Heisem is. After you do this move, turn around, like, not that I was attached to Cameron. I just think that this will not happen here. Like, I don't think Sari ultimately would ever go through with flipping it back and then just voting out Cameron, because she makes a point here in the diary room in this episode that that would just piss off a lot of people like Jag and Matt and clearly Blue, and why would Sari there's just more risk involved. Heisem could easily turn around, maybe not even next week, but 3 weeks down the road, go, well, you guys betrayed me back then. That justifies me doing something else here. I don't care what I promised, whatever. And that's always got to be in the back of your mind. And then on top of that, other people want him out anyway. So I don't see there was a world where Heisem flips around and gets enough votes to stay here.
No. But at the same time, I think he was right. I think it was kind of a stupid move for Felicia, Yeah. I don't think it helps Felicia's game in the long run. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but
it kind of does. I can see how it kind of ingratiates her to certain people, more outside of her alliance than in. I think that she's had her turn at HOH here. She got out a big house target. Okay, she can pat herself on the back, and she can sort of hang her hat on that for maybe a week or so. That's like I kind of compared it to when Derek in Big Brother 16 got out Davan, and sort of like, okay, he had his HOH, but his HOH was so obvious that there's no blood on his hands. I don't think Felicia likewise has any blood on her hands, so to speak here. And I think that the upside is there. I think that I don't think you would want it to get out that they were potentially going to flip it back onto Cameron and keep Red out of it, and that's the more risky part. But I get in all Big Brother houses, I think when you have all day just to sit around and think about different scenarios, different possibilities, you're of course you're going to consider, what if we do flip it and keep Heisem here? But fly in here. So.
Did you get it?
I think so. Yeah. Anyway, like that. Like I just don't see. I don't see. You don't see something miraculous like this happen. A blindside backdoor just to kind of turn around. Well, what if we just voted one of the pawns we originally were going to vote on anyway?
The only way it happens is if the other person sitting on the block all of a sudden becomes a bigger threat or gets kicked out of the house, or like what happened, last week. That's the only way it happens. Where he stays safe. he made a lot of mistakes socially. You know, I don't even think he was strategically stupid or anything like that. But Heisem couldn't figure out how to talk to people on their level. It was always on Heisem's level.
Right. And he's used to be on a higher level. He's a doctor.
Well, I don't imagine he has great like bedside manner. You know, like I don't, and most doctors I don't think do. You know, like I think they kind of look at problems and like, you know, and problem solving, like this is logical, this is the way it needs to be done, and shut up. You know, like this is, you know, and like
right.
When you're playing a social game, that's not really how it should work. Like Dr. Will was able to do the same thing that Heisem does, but he made everyone laugh and he made people feel at ease in a way.
Right.
You know, and he used his charisma to kind of carry him through the game, where Heisem was trying to like bully everybody. I think.
Yeah, he's not a person that's devoid of charisma. He has some, but I think you're right. You're comparing the two doctors, Dr. Heisem and Dr. Will. I think Dr. Will is undoubtedly a better Big Brother player like that. I think the results here speak for that. You know, I think that Heisem, is not as good with people as you might hope. The sad thing is not all doctors are. I think Dr. Will may be kind of an exception to the rule.
Doctors aren't, I don't think.
Like, you know, I think a lot of them are very smart and very good at, you know, what they do, but sometimes they're they are very good in this one way, but like the personal aspect is not always there. It's not an essential. It's kind of a nice to have, I think, for the most part. So yeah, the conversation between Izzy and Heisem, I thought in this episode was quite intense, you know, because
look at the body language. Like she's right up against the bed. He's right up against like this blue thing. It's just like the body language is so standoffish. It's like they're at the OK Corral and they're about to, you know, sling. Izzy's got her arms crossed. Heisem's got his hands in his pockets. Like, I mean, could it be more tense?
It was a very tense moment and scene, and you know, and she just kind of like, it was almost like this, like she just let all these things out at once. But it's because I think like every time I would observe them before this whole blindside backdoor thing was executed, like she was trying to say like, no, Heisem, we're good and we're best friends. And then all of a sudden she's like, well, no, we're not good because of all these things, but I haven't told you any of this until now. And it's Big Brother, and that's what you're supposed to do. It's not a criticism, but you know, it's kind of when these two were having it out, I was like, Izzy, like, I don't know, like if she can separate game from the emotional aspects of it. I think like she eventually, you know, and like I think that Heisem saw and got to figure out what his mistakes were. It seemed like he really understood by the end, but it was too late by then. And I guess that's the one positive thing I can say.
Well, they told them, you know, it's kind of like telling people like, yeah, your poker hand was going to lose all along, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of silly. I just think Heisem just didn't understand how he was coming across in the house at all. He had no self-awareness. He didn't even see it coming, you know. So like that's the thing that's crazy to me is like pretty much like there was people that didn't like him, and I think he knew that part. I think he knew Blue didn't like him. I think he obviously knew like Matt didn't like him because of the Riley thing,
right? But, and I think he was okay with that.
But this whole thing where it's like we're family and shit, is so infuriating because it's so manipulative. And it's like what, like Amanda made a good comparison. It's like what corporations do. They're like, welcome to the family. We're a family here at, you know, Hate Inc. or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Well, it didn't bother me so much in his conversation with Izzy at first when he first used it, because I thought it was just him and her were sort of like very close, and I was like, okay, maybe. But then he starts using it with the conversation with Suri, and then I'm like, okay, I think this is just a narrative. Like I can't imagine that you would say that about Red, but maybe, I don't know. Was Red your family? Because he was like, no, I need to get the.
To me, it's not genuine. Like they kept saying, oh, he seems genuine. It's like, I don't feel like it came across that way. Like I kind of felt that he was trying to be manipulative, you know, in a like a come across genuine way, but I don't feel like it was. Like I feel like he was just pissed, and he was doing whatever he could to grasp at straws to get something to maybe save himself. But
Well, maybe, but there was that one part I think in the diary room tonight where he says, "If I stay, I will give you a show like the Big Brother has never seen." Jenner like, I kind of believe him. Like maybe they should have voted Cameron. Like that sounds more exciting. Let's keep Heisem. I started getting behind the idea of it, right? But
yeah, no, I agree. But at the same time, I don't think he would have.
No, I think but you almost want to believe like the pitch, right? You're like, oh, maybe.
Yeah, bad salesman, but not a good deliverer. Like he could pipe it up a bit, but you kind of go, yeah, and then you think about it, and you go, nah,
Yeah. So yeah, well, I think like the thing is with Heisem, like this episode was an hour long, but I don't think it's going to take us that long to talk about just what happened here with Heisem. Like it was pretty straightforward. He goes around on this apology tour for a good part of the episode, and then ultimately he gets voted out. And then even really before we get to his exit interview, like there's all that stuff with the pressure cooker set up. But just let's just sort of we acknowledged him at the top of the show that he's sort of been scratched off the board here. Jeff, you drafted Heisem 10th in our draft. And he goes out here on day 23, the third evictee. You are left, as we mentioned, only with Matt. And
yeah, probably. I thought he was going to be my better pick of the two, and then he just completely imploded.
Yeah, no,
you don't really see it. Does happen, but I feel like people like a Heisem, I feel like didn't really understand how the game was played. He understood the rules. But like there are things that you do and don't do in these games. And like, obviously Sari is experienced enough to know all those things. And I feel like, but like, I think certain people are recruited like Heisem, and they get in the house, they go, what are the rules? They go, oh, okay. And then they just go game bot mode and they just think about it logically. And it's not a logical game. Like it's a very much just like a social hope for good luck type kind of game. Like, you can't really game bot your way at, I feel like, in Big Brother. Big Brother's all about relationships and winning parlor games and hoping the ball bounces the right way for you and then rolling with that punch, and it's impossible to like will your way there.
Yeah, and I think that's what Heisem was. I would think Heisem on Survivor might be more interesting.
Yeah.
Like I think he would even maybe do better in that kind of a game. It's hard to know, but sometimes you get a visit from the scary verse, Jeff.
Yes,
and Kesar shows up in the rain.
Is he in the rain there? Is that? I just thought it was like a metal background.
It's like raining behind him.
Oh yeah, it is.
Maybe with lightning.
That's fake rain.
It's the scary verse though. In the scary verse, there's scary rain, there's lightning, there's thunder, there's
wet.
Kesar. So
he's standing in front of a green screen, right?
I assume. I don't think it's real rain. No, I think it's CGI.
It was kind of spooky.
Movie magic.
It was like lightning and right outside when this was going on, so it was kind of interesting.
Yeah. But Jeff, Big Brother 6. How familiar are you?
I didn't watch it at the time, but I'm familiar with it from All Stars because all they talked about on All Stars in season 7 was freaking season 6. So
okay. And Jaemeel has been going on about this pressure cooker for years.
Yes, and it is a cool competition. Like, and I was a little worried that they were going to ruin it, and I still think they might. But if they just do it in the dark, I think it's a great idea. But if they do all these like jump scares,
how would you ruin it?
Well, because the whole point of pressure cooker is basically like who wants it the most. It's not about like, it's not an arbitrary thing. Like it's very much like who wants to hold this the longest, they are going to win. It
looks like a pretty big room. Like I know it. Like no one can leave until at least 3 people have let go.
Yes.
There's a couple stools in there. Is Felicia in there?
Felicia can't be in there.
She's not even in the room.
It doesn't look like it. No.
Right. You can't sit, you can't kneel, but you can squat.
Mm-hmm.
And
you can't go to the bathroom.
Everyone can't go to the bathroom. Everyone's got a light bulb above their head. But they turn out the lights here ultimately.
It's a little Russian roulette-y. They put them in a circle this time. Like before, it was like they were in like a big shed, and there was buttons inside and outside of the shed, and everyone had a different like a level. Now it's all even,
Right.
so it is different.
Well, here I have just the quick little clip of the Big Brother 6 version. Here, let's have a look.
For 18 years, fans have demanded the return of the epic pressure cooker competition. Well, tonight, it's back.
That looks much smaller.
It is smaller, and it was also weird because you were facing away from your competitors. Now you're all facing toward each other.
Now you're facing towards.
Yeah, which makes more sense for the show. I get why they did that.
But I think to call this a pressure cooker, this has to feel more claustrophobic.
It is a pretty like tight room, but yeah, I think that's why they did like the lights off thing.
Okay.
That will make you feel claustrophobic, wouldn't it?
That would help. I think, do you think they'll do things like pour water on them or whatever?
I imagine they're going to do jump scare stuff to make you go, and then you let go of the button,
Right.
Which kind of ruins it. I don't think they should do that. I think it should just be like lights off and then the lights come on and scary lights and stuff. That's fine. But I'm not a big, what is on in the middle too? Is that like a track?
It just looks like a table with like a skirt, like a tablecloth on it.
The other part, that's the black circle. You see?
Like yeah.
Is that like a track or something?
It's like these tubes. Oh wait, no. I'm trying to zoom in, but I can't zoom in on a video. Sorry. But it's like these two pieces of PVC almost coming out, but it doesn't connect right here. So I don't know what it is. Let's see if it moves a bit. They have these envelopes too, based on what the revenge of the pressure cooker here.
Like, what would you do? Like, would you?
Okay, Jeff. Do you know what I think these are? I think these will spray water.
Yeah.
These look like little faucets that aim right up at the person. So the sprays them
sort of from those right when they walked in, so they know that's coming.
It shoots them from the below. Yeah, and they would all see that. So
I don't like that. I don't. I don't think they need to be sprayed with water.
The table in the middle is kind of a weird choice. I don't know what that's meant for. Or what its purpose is.
I think Sari is dressed the best for this. But did you hear that?
Look how Sari's like protecting herself from the water.
Yeah, she knows it's coming. Yeah. But like the one player that this is my prediction of who I think will win this competition is America.
America will win this competition?
Yes,
Why?
and I have a reason. Amanda was saying that on the live feeds. She was talking before they even knew this competition was coming, that she played this game where you hold down a button on your smartphone.
Okay.
With it's like a game with millions of people. And she came 46th or something out of like a million people. Mm-hmm. And she went 46 hours holding down a button on her smartphone.
Well, this should be nothing for her then.
Right. That's what I said. I was like, well, she's going to win then. I mean, this is is there more of a competition tailor made for her than this then?
Maybe not.
It's harder too. I think it's harder to hold down a touch button than a mechanical button, a physical button. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when this happened in Big Brother 6, I think that it went 16 hours.
14. He said 14 hours.
14 hours.
Kaser, yeah.
So
Kaser didn't win, I don't think.
No. It was about getting out somebody named James that year.
Yeah.
Or something. And
Kaser came second, I think.
Yeah. I'm not. Jane was more familiar. Rob's sister Nino did a whole video kind of going back down memory lane. He was kind of recounting it. We were watching that before the episode, just getting more familiar with it, all of that. Jennifer. 14 hours, he says. Sam. To get out James. Yeah. But who would you hope does win this HOH, Jeff?
America.
You want America to win
Yeah.
it, but according to Jaemeel, America has no alliances.
That's why I want her to win.
Here, so if we just go, what is it, 11? All right, let's have a just quick look here, because this was a diagram that was recently shown to me, Jeff, of the alliances in the House. Now, according to this, America and Corey are allied, but according to Jaemeel, America is not even allied with Corey.
I don't think any of these alliances matter. The only people that I think are together for sure are Sari, Izzy, and Felicia seem to be together. And then I would say Jag is definitely with, like, I don't know, like he seems to be like with Matt, I would say. And then Blue and Jared seem to be together. And but Amanda's saying that Jared's terrible.
He seems like not a very good Big Brother player.
Red and Cameron are together, and then Bowie, Jane, and McCall. I have no idea. They don't really show them on the show at all, so it's hard to like figure out like where they stand.
Bowie, Jane, in particular, we hardly see on the show at all.
Yeah, they must not like her or something. Something's going on with her because she's Australian. Like you would think, like for that reason alone, she's got good quirky. They can tell her to say all sorts of crikeys and know.
Well, they got some interesting characters here, but like Cerise's on the show a lot. Heisem was in this episode a lot, of course. It made a lot of sense, but also Izzy and
like
and
Matt's on the show.
On the
Matt's on the show quite a bit. You know what I mean?
Matt, but then I think there's a few in particular. Bowie Jane is at the top of the list. I think America we haven't seen a ton from.
McCall is barely on the show.
Corey's barely on the show.
Corey's a little bit more though, because he's got some funny like moments.
Yeah, Jared is a Ferengi. I will play the clip just for the Star Trek reference. Females.
World domination by a female?
Izzy is in on a lot. I don't think I would like playing the game with Izzy, Jeff. That's my
Izzy would be like I think if you're in her alliance, she'd drive you nuts, and if she wasn't in your alliance, you'd want to probably get her out just because she's trouble as far as like the game goes.
Well, who's like somebody's got to be willing to target Sari, right? Because they're not gonna let Sari win this game because she very well may.
I think like she definitely could win, because here's the thing: when you get into these games, you have an advantage when you've played 4 of them already. She's played 4 Survivor games,
4 Survivor seasons, and she played the Traitors.
Right, yeah,
which is a pretty good show in its own right.
Right, but like, I mean, she has an insane amount of experience with CBS,
reality
TV. Like, she kind of understands how the sausage is made, whereas all these other players and people are just figuring it out on the fly. None of them
for
are
the first time. The only one who has a little bit of a leg up is Corey, just because his brother's been through all this.
And Jared,
yeah,
right.
But the rest here are fresh and new, and recruit or not are good here.
And Izzy would be the next player. I think she's probably the only person there, other than maybe Sari, that even knew what the hell the pressure cooker was. I don't think any of them knew what it was.
Yeah, America knew what it was.
She did?
America was the only one explaining it down when they announced it.
Good for her.
Floor. Yeah, she was like, we have to hold down a button. She knew, I think probably because she knew about holding down buttons.
Yes.
Maybe.
And I really hope she wins, because I think
because in 2005, I think America was like what?
She was probably like 6.
Yeah, if that. Right.
I think she's 27 or something. So she's
hold on, I have it here. America is 27, yeah. So do the math there.
So, and 2005 was 18 years ago?
Yeah.
So
she 9.
She was 9.
Yeah. Jaemeel saying here, Cameron and Red are willing to target Sari, which is why Corey wants to keep them around. Right. Well, I think Corey, Jaemeel said this, that Sari is a big target. Corey needs to get her out for his game, it seems like, one way or another.
See, this is my whole thing with this Heisem eviction, Dave, is for Felicia. I think to me, it was a mistake.
Because it was a mistake for Sari too.
Yes, I think it was. and Izzy, that whole side of the house, because Heisen wasn't coming after them.
And he was winning competitions.
Yes, which they're not going to be able to do, really. Like, let's be real here. Like, Heisen had a point. Like, most of them are, like, she got lucky winning that competition. And a lot of them are luck competitions. I'm not saying they're not. But, like, pressure cooker is all will.
Yeah.
You know? And so you need people on your side that can win. Like, and that really have a lot of, like, self-determination. And, like, I think Heisen fits that bill. You know who would have been good to get out for Felicia? Corey. You know, he would have been a great person to have gotten out here, you know,
right,
instead of Heisen.
How is Corey good for Felicia?
Not good, you know. I don't think, but that's just the way I look at it, you know. Because
they're in the for real, according to this diagram. They're
right.
But if you really look at this diagram, Felicia, Sari, and Izzy are aligned with everybody.
Yeah, and that's not gonna last. You know, Felicia will be not. She'll be used to a point, and then somebody like a Corey or a Jag will get rid of her. You know, because she won't be a number for them anymore.
Yeah,
that's what I think anyway. But you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Felicia goes to the end.
Maybe. Okay, so I guess the only other thing from this episode we haven't really talked about is this other twist they threw in about the America votes tonight. What was it exactly? America votes for superpowers. The America vote.
I didn't see this part. Oh, in the comic verse. What are they
going to grant one house guest an incredible superpower?
They didn't say what it was.
And you get to choose who will compete for it. So there's going to be a competition for this superpower, but you have to be first voted into the competition. Top 4 vote getters get the secret battle. So they wouldn't even know. The BB power of invincibility, Jeff.
So what's that mean? Like,
does he explain it? Hold on. The winner will gain the ability to save an evicted at one of the evicted house guests in one of the next two evictions. So let's say tonight Heisen got voted out and somebody had the power of invincibility. They could veto the eviction.
Oh, okay. So you can veto an eviction. That's cool. I like that.
They can even use it on themselves.
I like that. That's a neat. Like, they've never done that. They never had like an immunity idol in Big Brother ever.
Veto's the closest thing, right?
Well, no, the veto is not a immunity idol. You know, like
not technically, but it's kind of the it serves the same purpose.
So, in a way, but but you can't really change the course of a vote and like at the last second or anything like that. It's all done before, you know. Like Big Brother's very much like eviction night. Someone is getting evicted, and that's that. You know,
somebody, but yeah, and that's why the back door is kind of what it is, because you don't have that chance to win immunity for yourself. Because in the veto, if you win the veto, you can take yourself down, but you can also not take yourself down. But in Survivor, you can also choose to give your immunity necklace to somebody else.
But you can do that. You can do that with a veto too. But,
yes.
But the thing is, in Survivor, is you can do it last second after the votes have been cast, and completely change the vote. You know, right. You can't do that in Big Brother.
No. So 4 people are going to be voted. Who would you guess are the top 4 vote getters?
The most popular people in the house, probably. So I would probably
Sari's got to be one of them, right?
Yeah, Sari. I would probably say Jag would probably be one of them. Corey, maybe. And then maybe like Matt.
Sam's voting for America.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe U.S. residents only. Sam, sorry, you won't be able to.
I don't know. I don't know what people value out of the players this year.
Jaemeel doesn't want any more gimmicks. He doesn't want these superpowers. It's the multi versus will, Jaemeel. We can't control it.
Well, that's the whole concept this year, is all these stupid gimmicks, and it's the gimmick year, Jaemeel. I'm sorry, just the way it is.
Yeah.
But I agree, we don't need it. I think even this pressure cooker, like if they are doing like jump scares and stuff to them to get them to make them like, I don't like that. Like I want it to go 14 hours. I want it to go as long as it needs to go, because that's when arguments happen and people start talking, and like that's what the whole point of the pressure cooker.
The problem I have with this twist is that Sari is a returning house guest who already has, she's never been in Big Brother, but she's a reality TV star from CBS's World. She's from Survivor. She has this huge fan base already, right? And of course they're going to vote for her to be like in this competition. Now, I don't think Sari will win most competitions, so we'll see how it ends up. But I think that like it's kind of like that year that they gave Paul that like immunity, like power of veto, or remember, like there was like a twist that they gave Paul, and he was the only returning house guest that year in Big Brother 19.
Yes,
and it was like he already like stop making this easy for them, because they wanted Paul to hang around for the rest of the season. They didn't want them to vote Paul out right away. So they but Sari, if Sari has this power of invincibility, it's too much power for any one house guest to have, Jeff.
It can be, and they already gave her an advantage with her son being in this.
Her son's in the house. Nobody knows this except for, I guess, for Izzy, who's managed to keep it under wraps. Yeah, like I think like Felicia is also being thrown out here as a possibility. Matt. Okay, so what if the competition is like Sari, Matt, Felicia, and Jag? Who's gonna, like, depending on what it is, but like I would probably put money on Matt and Jag to lead that field.
Yeah, I would those think four. So. I think Matt and Jag will be there. Sari, those are the type of people.
And Felicia. It's just four
maybe
people.
Felicia, yeah, maybe Felicia.
Right, like she seems popular. She's the oldest house guest ever. I think she's got a following in her own right. She's teamed up with Sari. I don't think it's gonna be Red. I don't think it's gonna be Cameron or Jared or Nicole. A lot of these people haven't even been on the show very much. Like I don't see Corey getting a ton of votes here. So like, or Bowie Jane. Who's voting for Bowie Jane? Only Australians.
She's in the house. Vote. McCall too. Like McCall.
I've enjoyed your company as always, but it appears it is time.
Whoops, that was the wrong button. Yeah, no, Nicole. Well, they gave a little bit to Nicole last night. Her walking around the pantry talking to herself, complaining about the other house guests. That was her big thing.
Right, that's her thing. Yes.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, that's what we got coming up here. I don't think I have anything else in this episode to talk about.
No, that's the thing with these eviction episodes is that there's not a lot going on. If
Jaemeel was here, he would give us more about what's going on with the live feeds, more of the nuance of the house.
Well, he might be here in like 10 minutes. I don't know. He said,
well, if we have to fill the time.
That's true. We might find a way to. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this episode other than like Heisem kind of screwed up. Shot himself in the foot. The post-mortem on his game is, I don't know. Don't let people talk.
Yeah, I think that the jury is still out if the professor's turning on Heisem here. Ultimately, if this was good for them, I think that maybe not, just because Heisem was winning competitions. He wasn't coming for them. Yeah. Sure, he was pissing off people, but he was on their side, and they could have just tried to control him, but they didn't even try. So they were too powerless to even sort of try to mold him until they do this back door, and then it was too late. It was they
gifted the other side of the house a free back door. To their own alliance. It makes no sense. Like it really does. Like as much as Heisem was pissing people off, the thing about Survivor, and Sari should know this, the thing about these games is you have to keep people you don't like around and get along and be nice to them because if they're on your team and they're in your alliance, you have to be able to like learn to control those people with, like that's the whole point of the social game, the navigation of it all. And like, I think Felicia was just like, I don't like this guy and I want him out.
And Izzy.
And Izzy. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just think Saria was like, okay, who else is in that alliance? Bowie Jane. I don't really know how Bowie Jane feels about Heisem. Like, but
they didn't show us. So
they didn't show us, but it didn't seem like she was that she felt strongly in any way about it. Right. It's because it seems like that Professor's Alliance, is really more about the bye-bye bitches, but even at the core of the bye-bye bitches is just Felicia, Izzy, and Suri, whatever name you want to assign to them. They seem to be sort of the CEOs at the moment. But I feel like somebody's got to want to come for one of them at some point, right? Or both of them. Put two of the three up at some point. Otherwise, what do you have to try to fight back here, or they will control this game.
I just think it's a mistake to leave people like Jag and Corey in the house when your alliance is filled with people that are not exactly like competition beasts. Like Suri, not known for her competition prowess.
No.
Neither is, Felicia. I don't think she'll win another HOH this season. I'll be shocked if she does.
Well, it depends on what they throw at them, right? Like if it's the right competition, anyone can win.
If it's a dumb luck game, she has a chance.
I feel like it should alternate. I feel like all competitions should alternate between dumb luck and sort of random, anybody can sort of win, and more endurance ones or physical ones, or
I don't love the ones
mental.
that are I don't think they should have any physical competitions for the most part that are like, hold on to this
or stand on a wall. Like what about the wall competition?
I don't like the wall competition. I don't like the slip and slide competition.
Because it's too based on your physical body.
Yeah, like the same, like Felicia, 0 chance of winning slip and slide. 0.
Or the wall.
0.
Yeah.
Like, and that's my problem with it, is that most of them should be like, hold a button down for as long as, like, I love the pressure cooker because anyone can win pressure cooker. Anyone can win it.
Anybody can, it just involves standing and pushing the button.
Now, Felicia probably doesn't have as good of a chance. But some people surprise you, like.
But that challenge where you just had to hit a ball into the right slot last week, So I don't mind those competitions. I feel like you need a mixture of both, right? I don't like competitions where it's like, what day did this happen, or what? I hate that shit. I don't care if you can memorize these facts. Like maybe do that once, but like. I think I've talked about this on the podcast at length before. They tend to like prioritize that at the end of the game or try to reward that to certain house guests. Stop it. It's just
I don't like it either. I agree.
Like, what we turn them into statisticians? Like this is like we're studying for an exam. I watch the show regularly and I don't even know what the hell happened on what day. It's so I know they have nothing to do but to sort of.
I would rather them, if they're going to do trivia, do past seasons. And if they know that stuff, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that would be more interesting.
Yeah.
Or on what, especially if they were like, on what day in Big Brother 6 did the pressure cooker happen on?
Yeah.
Like they would have no idea. Right?
That'd be a great question because most people would never know that and would never study for it. That's the thing with all that other stuff. They all study for it. They all count. They all go, oh, yeah, okay, that's going to be asked. Okay.
Yeah, in this competition, and how many people competed, and how many people had not, or how many people had played the veto that hadn't been on the block yet, or
how many vetoes did McCrae win in BB15? Like no one's going to remember that.
One, I think.
I don't know. 2?
Yeah. Well, that'd be interesting. That would force like people who are going to be on a season. Is that they started doing that kind of a competition, then people would actually go back and watch older seasons more.
It would encourage that. Yeah, for sure.
There you go, CBS. I hope you're listening because we just found an amazing way to enhance this game and to stop giving us competitions we hate. So, all right. Well, let's wrap up, Jeff. Maybe by the time we get to the wrap up, maybe Jaemeel, who may make a cameo. He's at work tonight, making sure people have their goods and services all around this fine country. So you might be able to come in. All right. So if you didn't know, Super Mario Brothers podcast, a channel where we talk about all kinds of great reality shows, TV shows, different forms of entertainment. We did the Survivor. We're going to be doing a new season of Survivor, presumably in about a month, I guess. And then Big Brother Canada in the past. We also talked about the Marvel properties, whether it be like the Marvel movies or TV shows that accompany them. Most recently, Secret Invasion. Check that out on our Mary Mater Marvel Society playlist. We also are part of a united federation of podcasts. The Super Mario Brothers podcast channel is that, we have many podcasts that I'm in and other people, our friends are in. Like Live Long, a podcast, our Star Trek theme channel, where we talk about all kinds of different Star Trek shows, the newer episodes, the older episodes. Also, we do like deeper dive conversations, interviews. Watch out, this Monday I'm going to be interviewing along with Davan, our cousin, Derek Tyler Attico, the author of the autobiography of Benjamin Sisko, Jeff.
Ooh.
Yeah, he wrote the book on
Wow.
Sisko and his
Very
life
cool.
story. So I have to actually research this book before.
Are you going to ask him why Sisko's such a psycho?
I am going to try to ask him that. Yeah,
Commander, I said launch torpedoes.
Torpedo. I just got to have like a whole Cisco soundboard on the ready for him. Yeah. You betrayed your uniform.
I'm not Picard.
Yeah, all of the great Cisco clips I have just sort of going like this one.
I am a Starfleet officer, the paragon of virtue.
That's right, you are. So check out that. Also, Trivial Debates is a channel where we argue about movies, TV, sports, and more. There's a host, there's 3 contestants, and we have a show coming up this Sunday, if you can believe it, themed around The Office. Jody Simpson's going in, along with 2 newcomers. One of them, Jeff, is a professor from Dalhousie University, our father's alma mater in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And we've already told Jody he's probably going down in Trivial Debates to her. That's our theory, at least. And do you have? I'm trying to remember who the third. Oh yeah, we have this other guy coming in. James Elkins, is that his name? I don't know. Jeff, we have a whole newcomers on Trivial Debates coming up this Sunday. Check it out, 3:00 p.m. Eamon Mater on track. Talking about music albums. I heard he's going to be talking about the White Album with you, Jeff.
Yes.
So
I don't know when yet because I'm pretty busy and he hasn't followed up. But
yeah, I told him let me know when you're doing it and I'll get it on the schedule. Hellbound podcast, Alex Blackburn, Michael Chan, talking horror, audio only. Check out their channel. X-Rated, the X-Men the Anime Review Show with Davin and Andre talk about X-Men the cartoon. They've talked with the creators. They've talked with the voice cast. They've talked with producers and writers and comic book artists over there. Check that out. Graphic Histories with Andre Mayette, Davin Skelhorn, or not just with Andre Mayette, actually. Interviewing people from entertainment, comic books, TV, movies. And Hold Up, a movie podcast with Davin and Murphy, coming out tomorrow. Jeff talking about time travel movies with them, including Sphere and Primer. And what's the third one?
Time After Time.
Have you seen these yet?
Yes.
You're all caught up. You're all done your homework.
Yes.
All right. So do you have a favorite?
Sphere.
Yeah. The one you picked is still your favorite of these 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I did enjoy Primer quite a bit, but they're all different. They're all good. They're all very, you know what? They're all very of their time. Like Sphere is very much a 90s movie, 90s blockbuster movie. Primer is very much an early 2000s indie movie. Mm-hmm. And Time After Time couldn't be more a late 70s
blockbuster
popcorn movie. Yeah, it's a popcorn movie. I wouldn't even say it's a blockbuster. It's just kind of like it's a nice little story. It's very much like Back to the Future 3. That's what it feels like.
Nicholas Meyer from Star Trek.
Nicholas Meyer. Claire Clayton from Back to the Future 3.
David Warner also from Star Trek.
Yeah, and Titanic. Oh. Yeah,
I think he might have made it, Jeff. Did
he make it?
He's trying to get
his thoughts. It's pressure cooker.
We got get his reaction here. His camera hasn't come on yet, but there you go.
There he is.
Hey.
Hey.
I literally punched out of work.
Oh.
Well, we made it to 11. We were like, if we can make it to 11, then Jaemeel might have a chance to make it here.
I see you all trying to stretch out time.
I just was plugging the shows, talk about the Federation. It was
sure you were. Good show. I was watching, while I was sorry, no, I wasn't watching. I was working very hard at my job that I continue to be employed at. I haven't seen the episode, but still paying attention to what's going on
in the house,
in the feeds, in the house. Yes. This, I don't want to say it's a nothing burger of a week, because we, as you mentioned with the graphic that you put on before, a lot of alliances are being developed with For Real, and I see it's called Legend 25, but also just Legends as well. But
here I got it here,
yeah, and Savage 7. So one thing that this whole alliance thing has done, obviously, is really secured Izzy, Sari, and Felicia in the center of everything. But at the same time, another person is aware of what's going on, and that's Jag. Jag kind of he got his Kaiser Sose revelation moment from Heisem, where he kind of eventually put everything together after Heisem was saying, it's like Sari and company are protected on all sides. Like she literally knows what everything's going on. My computer's running low.
No worries. We can only as long as you can stay, and when you say we're done. But go ahead.
Yeah, when I suddenly shut down, that's when we were done. One thing that was explicitly told this week is that Jared is not really a good person.
Well, Amanda she listens on the live feed updates.
Emails.
She is not a fan of
said
Jared.
He said that Blue is there to pass the time. He's there to play the game, and he's not really there for a show.
Are we losing him?
Can you repeat that part, Jaemeel?
He's slowing down.
His mic's not working.
I think the power.
Yeah. The power.
You can't get it out, bozo, unless you have power.
Sorry. Yeah, it died.
There you go. Yeah.
It's the screen is off. It's done. So.
Okay. Hey, no worries. All right. Well, thanks for. Good to see you. Is he gone? Okay.
I think he's gone. Oh,
I think he's gone. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Jaemeel, for coming on in. Well, you finished on a nice pose there, and on that note, I think we'll sign off for the night. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you for the Sunday result of the pressure cooker episode, guys. Watch out for that. And on that note, we will see you on the flip side, as they say. Where are you, Frankie? Oh no, where'd you go?
See you on the flip side.
What would you say if I told you that Sari is Jared's mother?
I would say that makes sense. Yes. They look alike, right? They look alike, but they were already together. Good for them. I hope they go to the end.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, I hope their mom and dad, I hope they win.
In the event